Well, hello there, listener. My name is Matthew Renfro, host of The Fro Show, and you're listening to another great Four-Eyed Radio product. For more shows, check out foureyedradio.com.
Hey there, Eric here from Socially Awkward Studios, and this Four-Eyed Radio presentation is being proudly brought to you by Raven Designs, illustration and design that fit your personality. For samples and inquiries, visit ravencruise.com.
Let's see. So we got everybody. We got a whole gang of people today on Appropriately Inappropriate. We are releasing this 2 days early to promote the shows for the weekend at Stand Up Scottsdale. Jason Collings, Josh Nasar, Ryan Doon.
Boom.
David Collings is here, Jason's brother. Incredible writer. So we just got a packed house, and Joe Gangemi is sitting on the...
Hey, there you go.
Shit, Jesus Christ.
Just came.
First show's in the books, man. How'd it go?
It was fun. We had fun. I mean, Josh, he kind of made a mess of the room, and I'm like the janitor. You know what I mean?
I
got to
mean,
go
Josh Nasar as the headliner for the weekend.
I got to clean up after you, Josh, like a janitor. You know what I mean? But it's
I featured for Jason.
I like throwing Josh a bone every once in a while. He's he's a new guy. He's learning the trade, and I like helping out these kids.
I do this joke about having two sons that are my roommates. Wait, that's Jason's joke. I'm sorry, that's Jason's joke. Yes, my name is Josh Nasar, and I'm featuring for the one and only Jason Collings from the Tonight Show.
And I love him.
And I do love him.
Josh does... If you don't follow Josh Nasar on social media...
I'm trying to catch Ryan Doon. I'm trying to catch Ryan Doon. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. Did we get Ryan Doon 3 million friends?
Yes.
Yes, personally, I know all of them.
Vine?
They're all from my high school.
Wait a second. That's not true.
It's a small high school, man.
Yeah.
4A? Was it just 4A?
Yeah.
Dude. Nah, the shit that you do, I'm so jealous. I wish I didn't care like you do.
I have mental problems, but one of my favorite
what are you saying,
one of my
Josh?
favorite
He's
videos ever.
Jealous that you show your belly to everybody.
If you look up one of my favorite videos ever is I'm in San Diego with David and Jason, and in the middle of me screaming at somebody on the street, Jason just pops his head in and just stands there and then pops his head out. It's when I'm screaming at a guy. He had a shirt on that said, "I don't give a fuck." And Jason, because he's a 9 millionth degree black belt, just stands right next to him, awkwardly. And I
with a big grin on my face.
Yeah.
Waving like a tourist. Hey, Josh.
Dude, what's your favorite one that you've done that stands out to you?
That's the
one?
Yeah, because David was around, his brother, and Jason was there.
I like how you do it, and it's so blatantly obvious, and still the people act like you're not there.
You know what it is? They think he's insane. So they're like, we can't.
Yeah, and I do it with guys who can
anything.
fight around me. It's not a problem.
Didn't some guy yell out Prozac or something like that when you were doing one?
Yeah, people have. Basically, I do moving selfies is what it is. So people take selfies. I always want to know what was going on in the background. So I just do moving selfies, and I scream at people. People that are doing things like smoking cigars in public in places you're not supposed to. People who talk loud on the phone on airplanes. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
I harass people like that.
And you know what? You have to be a special personality to get away with that. Because I've seen you screaming at people who are picking their nose. Mm-hmm. They smile. I'm like, yeah, I was.
It's insane, right? If I did that, they'd be like, dude, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
It's great.
You got to have kind eyes.
It's that smile.
I do have kind eyes.
Ryan nailed it. You have kind eyes.
And I don't want to be rude and throw off a weird vibe, but Jason, I got to be honest, you look very handsome tonight.
Thank you very
Did you
much.
just get your hair cut?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, new school clothes on. You look good.
Got my new school clothes on, man.
Fresh white kicks, man.
Thank you.
That'll do it.
I haven't had a pair of Nikes in years, and so my son gave me these.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
They're hand-me-downs from your son?
hand-me-ups. They were hand-me-ups.
Oh, sorry.
Hand-me-ups. He never wore them.
Ooh, I like
And
that.
you know what? When he moved, he left them brand new in the box, and I said, "Do you want me to ship these to you?" And we were the same size. And my son was so funny. He goes, "Well, Dad, if you think you could rock them, why don't you rock them?" I'm like, "I'm keeping them."
Your son legitimately talks like that.
Yeah, legit.
That's awesome.
For show. All right, Pops.
I love when you do it, when you do him in your act, dude. It's hilarious.
It's funny. You ever see that show on Netflix, The Killing? Yeah. The guy that was in RoboCop, that actor, Kinnaman, the way he acts in that show where he's like, all right, yeah, okay. Like that's how my son talks.
Is your son Tom Hanks' son as well?
Me and Tom Hanks share a son.
How sweet. I guess I always like this question, and it's weird because I've had some horrible things happen on stage. Like, what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a show?
The craziest thing that ever happened to me on a show was actually here in this city of Scottsdale, Arizona. at a different club. You know, the little...
It'll remain nameless.
And this guy... Okay. This guy comes up to me before the first show, and he says, hey, man, I contacted Joe Coy and asked him who I should go see, and asked him if he was in town, and he said he wasn't in town, but he said, Jason Collings is in town, you got to go see him. So me and my wife came to see you. So nice. And I'm like, cool. So they came to the first show. Now, I'm headlining, and you know how that shall remain nameless this club is. There's like 19 guys ahead of me. So it's a long show. They're drinking the whole show. By the time I get on, they're a little wasted, but they had a great time. They decided they're going to stay for the second show and then drank again for the whole second show. By the end of the second show, the guy hated me. It was the weirdest thing. He's like, you're not even funny, dude. To the time I was I was like, I finally, and the staff wouldn't do anything. So I finally, from stage, I had to go, you got to get this guy out of here. He's fucking up the show. He's got to go. Oh, come on, bro. Really? I'm like, yes, really. The audience starts going, yeah, really, get the hell out. So they come to escort him out, and as he gets up to leave, he really quickly turns back, grabs his glass of beer, and throws it right at my head while I'm on stage. He's in the front row. And I did like a karate Matrix Bruce Lee thing.
By the way, Jason's a 5th degree black belt.
Yes, and the glass hit the wall next to my head. That's the first craziest thing. A full glass of beer right at my head, and it missed me. And then I had a guy throw an ice cube at me once from the audience.
Just a cube?
Hit me right in the glasses lens. And if I hadn't been wearing my glasses, it would have took my eye out.
Aw.
It would have took my eye right out. I'm sorry.
You'd be a cyclops.
What about you, Josh?
I was at another club, not to say what it was, Rick Bronson's House of Comedy. And what? And first of all, I love all the clubs out here. No joking. I love all the clubs out here. Everybody's cool out here. But there was this guy, and he kept talking. He was the front row, and I leaned down, and I took my microphone, and I tapped him on the head several times. And I go, what are you doing? And he got mad at me, and he stood up.
Like lay down on that stage to do that.
Yeah. No, I literally. So high up there. And he jumped up and took a fork and a knife and slammed it on the ground on the stage. And he goes, Conan the Barbarian. I don't know what that means.
He said that?
He said something like Conan the Barbarian or whatever.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And then the staff came over, but I didn't know. And I had the microphone cocked back because I was hit him with it. I don't know. But so that happened to me out here. But, I mean, weird things happen. I mean, I had a show at Brian Mullen has a show, and I was supposed to make a bunch of money. It was supposed to be filled. I got there, and there was 2 people in the audience. And he said, do you want to go up? I go, yeah. And I did 45 minutes in front of 2 people. No microphone.
No microphone.
Yeah.
So it's like literally just a street performance.
It was great.
Man.
That was fun.
Dude, that's crazy. Ryan.
All right, so I've been doing stand-up for a little under 3 years, so I don't have any super crazy road dog stories, but I have a pretty unique one. I was at the Ice House Comedy Club recently, and one of my say it again?
Pasadena, California.
Yes, in Pasadena, California.
Where you at?
Yes. And one of my fans from Vine came out, and I started doing my Jay-Z impression. She was in the front row. She started crying.
Wow.
Wait, why?
Oh, because she loves that.
Yeah, like oh my God, he's doing this Jay-Z thing.
Oh, she was a super fan of yours.
You know what it was? She was like, I've only seen this for 6 seconds at a time.
Hey! You should do comedy. Hey! That's why he's the headliner.
But I'm thinking oh man, that's the opposite of what I'm trying to do
right?
right now. And I just had to ignore it. I was like, all right, somebody's crying in the front row, but I still got to get some laughs here. But it was a good cry.
That's
that
smart,
was
though, that
fucking
you ignored
weird.
It. I think that's smart that you ignored it. So many people, I've had guys fall. I've had people sleeping.
Yeah.
And I just go over it and finish
That's
my
your
set.
act.
I've seen so many people derail from their sets to point that kind of stuff out, and it just screws their whole setup.
There was a couple in the front tonight. Oh, the older couple in the very front.
With the hat?
No.
Right in front with the guy with
right
glasses.
in front.
Yeah.
And I think my humor is just more skewed to a younger audience, so they weren't really laughing a lot. I almost pointed them out and be like, "Why aren't you laughing?"
You know what? That's
that's bad.
That's
It
why the
is,
human
yeah.
existence, though. You could have 100 people in the audience. If 2 people in the front are not laughing, my mind goes.
That's what you zone in on.
You zone in on that, and that's just insecurity. And on a test, 98% is winning. You won everything. But I'm learning to not say anything.
A piece of advice that I was given early on in my stand-up was don't ask the audience any questions because they will fucking answer you.
Right.
Yeah.
Like like tonight I was like, anybody a fan of Jay-Z? And I was like, oh, don't ask that.
Because a lot of people, and a lot of times
no.
they're drunk. Nope.
Yeah,
And then you have to deal with that.
What happens if
Right.
I don't have enough
It's
material?
better to just go, you know what, guys? I'm a huge fan of Jay-Z. And then you just, what'd you say?
So what happens if I don't have enough material?
I was worried about that tonight, actually.
Hey! I run out of
comics-
material. I can always do
Here's
yours.
when you know. Here's when you know, as the engineer of the room, when to give the comic the light. When he goes, okay, so what else should I talk about?
Yeah. Ryan, how do you get 3 million followers on Vine?
Talent. Tell him,
Hold on.
Ryan.
Pure
6-second
talent.
talent.
Well, first,
Seriously.
Well, first of all, I have glacier blue eyes.
You do. I can't look
Oh,
at you
I
straight.
thought I'd get a laugh.
Nothing.
All right.
You're funny.
Yeah,
though.
nothing.
That's the thing. You're really funny on there.
Oh,
a lot
thanks.
of people think that they are, and they're not. But you're actually.
But
really
my,
funny.
I
Thank you,
guess
man.
mine is like, did you just get on it and you just say you came up with some pretty good videos and then all of a sudden it just blows up?
First of all, I was gone on the app early on, thanks to Brian Redband on the Joe Rogan podcast. He mentioned it for a brief second, and I was like, "Oh, I'll try it out." Then I went home, tried it out. For me, it was extremely creatively fulfilling, so that's why I did it and kept doing it. Then I got known for my Jay-Z impression, so I was known as like the Jay-Z guy. I started a hashtag called #LNV Late Night Vine that got me some traction. And then I just did.
What does that mean exactly?
What,
Can you explain
late night
that to me?
Vine?
Yeah, when you put a hashtag out. So you put a hashtag, and people just start doing hashtag and doing their own late night Vine?
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
But then it totally got away from me. Like no one knows I started that anymore, and it's become. Originally, it was late night vines, completely in the dark, and you tell something secret about yourself. But now, like if anyone posts a vine after dark, they'll just hashtag
late
late
night
night
one,
vine.
right.
Yeah. So it's gotten away from me. Then I just started some characters that became popular.
I love it. It's a beautiful day.
Oh yeah, it's a beautiful day.
I love that.
That one I found out. Okay, people like this. And one of my first thoughts on Vine was, well, shit. Apparently, I resonate with teenage girls. It's like I have a lot in common with teenage girls, apparently. But yeah, it's just like luck, timing. It was gradual.
And it's an amazing exercise for if you want to do comedy. It's a great exercise because if you can make someone laugh in
Good.
6 seconds,
Test? All right.
right?
Wait, yeah.
Right?
Sorry,
Like if
sorry.
it's a good exercise, you know.
But a lot of that's the punchline of making fun of Viners. Like, you're only funny for 6 seconds.
Ridiculous. If
I was
you
like,
can
that-
be funny in 6 seconds because when you do a late night spot, like if you do a Tonight Show or you got to get your first laugh within the first like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's the secret. Get your first laugh within the first 30 seconds. If you've been working on getting a laugh in 6,
Right.
you know what I mean? It's amazing.
But how
Yeah,
come
it's-
that didn't work for him tonight? I'm sorry. I'm rooming with you.
I did well tonight. I was happy.
Josh,
You did
you're being
really
a
well
bully.
tonight. I was really proud of you.
Thanks, man.
I beat off in the
How
audience.
often do you go up?
I mean, I'm doing mics pretty much every night.
Yeah.
That's
Open
good.
mics in LA.
That's awesome.
But it's tough. Like, you know, I got to pay my dues. I'm not like booking shows just because I'm popular. But yeah, wait, what was the question?
How often are you getting up?
I forgot. 6 seconds at a time.
Well, yeah, right. There's a lot of new comics. What, dude?
How come you don't have one of these?
You got it? Oh, yeah. Do we have another one? No? Whatever. Fuck. I'll just hold it like this.
Is it his mic that's busted, or is it? Would all of ours do that? Just his?
Nah.
Here. Okay, he's got. There you go.
Oh, dead air. Somebody sing.
Nah, hold on. Are we good? Are we good? Let's just Michael McDonald play us out. Am I good, Joe? Okay. Okay, so what I was saying was there's a lot of new comics that listen to this show, and they come out here, and there's a lot of opportunities to do mics that you can get one almost every night, except Friday, Saturday.
Here in Phoenix.
Yeah, in Phoenix.
See, it's becoming a comedy town. So many clubs here.
It is, but then a lot of bar shows too. Just
That's
there's
awesome.
opportunities, but I mean the city's huge.
Yeah.
So there's one that's on one complete other side of town. And you're like, do I drive out there for the 3 minutes or 5 minutes?
Yes.
Right.
You drive out and
Right.
whatever.
Nah, but my question to you, like in LA, there's so many opportunities to get on different shows every night. So But there's a lottery. There's a whole thing. There's a lot of it kind of who you know to get on certain shows, pull that you have on credits. However, you can get mics out there.
It's all a hangout game. You got to hang out. People don't realize how important it is to say hang out. My wife used to go, I don't understand why you're going to the comedy club when you're not on the show. I'm like, you know what? All I can say is hanging out is so important. They don't really, and it's
I'll
because
give you a perfect example of this. This weekend, I came out here. The only reason I came out here is because I asked Jason. He's the headliner, so the headliner decides. He didn't have to,
I said no. He went over my head.
You know what? This podcast is starting to feel like my childhood. No, but really, so I asked Jason, hey, can I come out? But I met Ryan when we were in New York or in the Comedy Store too. I got stage time because I'm friends with Jason, and then Jason knows Ryan, so I asked Jason, okay, you guys can come out.
Again, I said no. Went over my
No,
head.
you didn't say that. So that really is it because think about it. Who does Jason want to work with? Somebody he doesn't know, or hey, we can all hang out together.
Exactly.
David, me, Ryan. So why not? So we just got in the car and we drive, and that's what it comes down to. If you're going to hire somebody, you're going to hire somebody you know or somebody you don't know. If they both can do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all about networking, dude. Just network.
And just being nice. Like I see a lot of open micers who already have a chip on their big
So
ego.
shitty.
And it's like,
They're so
what the
shitty.
fuck are you doing?
Dude, you be out here. It's crazy.
You got to be
Dude,
nice.
It's crazy out here.
You got to be nice. That's like what I've noticed. Is being nice is like the most important part.
Dude, there was
almost.
a guy joking to test. There was a guy last night at an open mic. It was his very first time going up, and he went up and he got some laughs, which we then found out were jokes that he got off the internet.
Oh.
Came up and did them, but he got laughs. And was like, yeah, I killed it last night. Kevin Hart, he thinks he's so funny. Dude, he can't do what I did.
Oh,
he was
it's
dead
phenomenal.
serious,
He wasn't.
dude.
He was,
Dead
and that's
serious.
the thing. A lot of these guys do that. They act like that when they're new, and they don't do their homework. They don't realize who they're standing next to or who they're talking to. You could be talking that kind of shit in front of an important booker and not even know it, and you just burn that bridge. I did a show at a club in San Diego, and I walked in. I was headlining, and I walked in while the show had already started, and there was a guy. I sat in a chair, and this guy's behind me, and he's pacing back and forth, and he's jumping jacks, and he's like stretching like he's about to run a marathon. And I look back at him, I go, what's up, man? And he goes, what's up, man? And I go, like real attitude, what's up? I go, you a comic? Puts his hand on my shoulder and goes, hang on. And then the host brings him up. Like, hold on, you'll see. And then the host brings him up. He goes up and eats a dick for about 5 minutes.
Love it.
Thinks that he kills.
Man.
Comes off stage, puts his hand on my shoulder again, and goes, does that answer your question?
Oh, I love him.
And I went,
Straight out of a Louis episode.
wow. And I was like, okay. And then between the time that I was going to go on and when he got off, someone told him, that's Jason. He's headlining this weekend. He comes up to me and goes, yo, man, dude, I'm so sorry. Can I buy you a drink? And I'm like, no, thanks, man. I don't want to
Can you
drink.
say who it was? Do you know who it was?
Can't remember his name.
You're like, no thanks, dude. I hate you now.
Or what if I said, hang on, and I pour the drink on the floor? Does that answer your question?
When I first started doing comedy, I didn't have, what Jason's saying is 100%, but I didn't know I was the Ed Hardy tan guy.
Oh my God, Josh
And,
wore Ed Hardy and like True Religion jeans with the white stitching, and he fake tan and drove a Hummer.
Okay, first of all.
Was it yellow? Was it a yellow Hummer?
No, it was a white Hummer, and I used to pull it into the Comedy Store parking lot, which has no parking at all.
Yeah, dude.
And I didn't know, and I had I had a company at the time. I didn't tell you this, Jason. I had my assistant at the time calling the bookers to say, "Can Josh get a spot?" And these were like open mics, and like my assistant, I gave him a list of phone numbers.
That's so funny.
And,
because you don't know how
I
it
didn't
works.
get booked. I was horrible.
You don't know how it works at first. Like I would
Yeah.
before I ever went up. I'm a really good friend of mine who's a major stand-up comic is Joe Coy. Joe Coy is who got me my start in stand-up. I would go with him to all his shows, and I thought that's how it worked. I'm like, so I just write jokes and I can come and do the Laugh Factory tomorrow. I really thought, I'm ready to do stand-up. Book me at the Laugh Factory. And you don't realize until you get into it. It's just like, dude, it's a climb. It's a struggle. And there's the steps that you have to take are important. Don't burn bridges. Don't say you're funnier than this guy and funnier than that guy, even though you might be. Don't say it out loud.
I'm funnier than Jason. What? I'm sorry. What just happened? I'm sorry.
It's the first season of Last Comic Standing.
Yes.
You are so much funnier than me.
How about this? I have a great question, Jason. I want to learn from you. What is the biggest mistake you think not mistake, but you learning mistake. What's the biggest mistake you've made so far?
Headline too early.
Really?
Headlined way too early. Yeah, I was getting regular spots at all the improvs, and I was at the Brea Improv one night, and I had become pretty friendly with the management, and he was having an issue because D.L. Hughley canceled his Thursday night show on his weekend. And he goes, and the manager goes, I don't know how I'm going to fill this spot. And the assistant manager at the time goes, how about Jason do it? How about you have Jason do it? And of course, he goes, you want a headline Thursday? And I'm thinking, headline. And I just said, yeah, I'll do it. A headlining spot should be minimum 45 minutes. I had at the time maybe a 20-minute set. And I just but I figured it out. I did enough crowd work and enough BSing to do the 45, but then it spoiled me. And now I thought this is how it should always be from now on. I'm now a headliner.
What do you mean? I mean, I have an idea what you mean, but what do you mean spoiled you? Like you thought?
I thought that this is. I'm at that step. Now I'm a headliner, and I wasn't. And I wish that I hadn't wasted time. I mean, I got paid to do it, which was nice, but it creatively it was a bad move for me to just start doing these headlining gigs. What I should have been doing more, and I went back and eventually did it, was I should have been hanging out at the store more and doing those 5-minute spots and development spots and working new stuff out and getting, making those connections and stuff.
Yeah.
When I was, headlining and I was not a headliner. You know what I mean? I hadn't even been on television or done anything like that. Yeah. I feel like I did that a little too early and I jumped on that too eagerly,
Jason and Josh, you both have been passed at the store, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What was that like? I mean, how much shit did you have to go through each to get there?
For me, it was about 2 years of just going to the open mic night, which luckily for me at the time, Josh too. Remember, Josh, it used to be Sundays and Mondays. Mm-hmm. Now it's just Mondays. Mm-hmm. Sunday's an actual book show now, but we used to have Sunday and Monday. And we would go every Sunday and Monday, and you just hang out. And there's so many nights when they're like, okay, yeah, you're on tonight. And then 1 o'clock in the morning rolls around, and the guy comes up to you and goes, sorry, man, not going to happen tonight.
And you were there since 9 o'clock
and you
at night.
stayed all damn night. And to have them come up to you at 1 and go, sorry, not going to happen. But instead of going, fuck, and giving up like so many people have done, you come back the next night and you do it again. And a couple years of that. Eric Griffin, the comedian Eric Griffin, Workaholics, said something to me once, and I liked it what he said. He said, people don't fail at this business, they just give up. And so many people, when they were going through that process, said, fuck this, man, I don't need this. They're going to put me up over here. Why would I waste my... Because you know what? It's the Comedy Store. And everybody who's ever gotten their name on that wall, no matter how shitty they were treated there, went, fuck yeah, I'm part of comedy history. Yeah. My name is on the Sunset Strip. You know what I mean? And 2 years, that was an amazing year for me. When I got... And the thing is, when I got passed and they put my name on the wall, I wasn't in town. I was at... in that year, I actually got Just for Laughs Montreal as well.
Awesome. You did Montreal?
Yeah, I did. The same year I got.
Whoa!
All in 1 year.
That's
the Tonight
amazing.
Show, Just for Laughs, the Tonight Show, BET Comic View, and my name on the wall at the store, all in that same year. And what was cool though is that my brother and my son went to the night where they put the names up and were taking pictures and sending me pictures. Cool. It was pretty awesome.
That's pretty awesome, dude.
Take the mic for a second, Dave. You're the brother in this, but you do your own stuff. Have you done stand up?
Kind of.
Dabbled?
Times when him and Dalia and a couple other people were just starting out.
Yeah.
I did a room down in Long Beach, California, and I hosted just for the fuck of it, just for fun.
Those were great shows. The lineup was like.
And then somebody asked me to host another show once somewhere else. I can't remember where it was though, but.
The lineup at that show that we used to do in Long Beach was unbelievable. Now, the people that would come every week was like Chris D'Elia, Joe Coy, Whitney Cummings, Eric Griffin. Or always Craig Robinson would come down and do my room. It was insane. Right, yeah. It was insane. Yeah.
You ran that room?
My brother and I both ran it. I would do a spot and he would host it. And then I started running a room weekly at the Gas Lamp in Long Beach, which is now awesome. It's still there. It's still a comedy night.
You just did it not too long ago.
Yeah, which was cool because I got to go back and headline a show there, which is where I started a room just so you can get, when you start comedy, you do a room so you can get stage time.
I was just there last night to see DL Vaughn.
Yeah, it's a great venue now, man.
I know for
when
me-
I ran that room, it was terrible. There was a rail in front of the stage, like you were on a balcony. It was the weirdest thing. But now it's like a full-on venue. I want to shoot my special there.
I know for me, when I got past the Comedy Store, Mitzi passed me, and I had no jokes at the time, really like written jokes. But like Jason was saying, I showed up every single night. I was on stage. I was hosting. I hosted all the shows for them. I had a show in the Belly Room for years, and I think a lot of times she passes you on work ethic and your potential, and she knows if you're really serious about doing it. You know, but Mitzi had an eye for talent, and you never knew. Sometimes you'd be like, why would she pass that person? A few years later, boom, they were amazing. I mean, people say one of my favorite comedians out right now is a guy named Sebastian.
Oh, dude, he's
Maniscalco.
awesome.
And I mean, I can't stop doing him. Aren't you him? I can't stop doing. Aren't you him? So people had told me, and I don't remember this, but Jason, maybe you know. People told me that when he first went on, he didn't do well at all, and then there was There was one night where all of a sudden he found his voice.
Yeah.
And then ever since then, it was a rap and just destroyed. And you never know what's going to come for somebody.
How long did it take you to find your voice?
You know what? I think I'm still finding it,
love
and
that.
I think that for me, on a deeper level, the more I learn to like myself, like who I am, that's when I'm finding my voice because I feel comfortable to say on stage, "Hey, this is who I am." And I think really in the past 6 months, I'm starting to get there, but I think I'm far away from it still. I think I'm another 5 years away from really finding my voice where I'm different than anybody. Because right now, I think it's a little bit surfacey what I do, and I make fun of myself. Like Howard, who owns Stand Up Scottsdale, he always talks about having relevant comedy. And I always go, hey, was my comedy relevant? To which he responds, nothing. He says nothing to me at all. So I mean, mine's a little more surface fun, a little more party, exciting. Whereas Jason's has a little more depth and gravity to it, talking about his sons, what's it like to be a dad. I don't have that really
Do
yet.
you write?
Do
Or
I-
do you write on stage?
To be honest, what I do is I smoke a little pot, and I go late night spots at the Comedy Store, different places, and that's a lot of times where I write. So I record my set, and then the next day I listen to. I mean, I haven't listened to the radio. And
The next day he listens to it and goes, I was so high.
David, how do you live with your brother on a day-to-day basis? I mean, do you actually like Jason?
Sometimes.
You do?
Yeah.
And does it feel better that you're a 7th degree black belt and he's a 5th degree black belt?
I throw it in his face whenever I can.
And who would win in a fight
throws it
between,
in my
let's
face with
say,
a kick.
you and your ex-wife? Let's just throw it out there. Nothing.
Who would win in a
Okay.
fight between him and his ex-wife?
Yeah.
Definitely his ex-wife.
Okay, I don't know.
She's a Latina.
See, the thing is, what Josh said, I love, and I respect when he said, and you asked about the voice thing, and he said, I feel like I'm still finding it. That, to me, that's a real comic who's constantly working. Perfect example. Joe Coy just texted me right now. He sold out 10 shows at the Ontario Improv this weekend and next weekend. His show at Ontario Improv's over. He just texted me, what's going on at Flappers? Like, he's not done. He wants to go to another club and try to get up.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? That's amazing.
I think that's what separates a lot of comics. Right?
You just got to keep working, keep getting better.
And that's also so humble. I mean, the dude sells out all those shows, and then he's like, anywhere. Put me up out anywhere. I got to keep working.
He's
That's
so
actually
humble.
what I respect about Ryan too. I mean, you got 3 million followers. He goes from everywhere he goes. When I go out with him, and people recognize, but yet he has to go to a fucking open mic and sit in the back. Nobody knows who he is, and they're not nice. And then all of a sudden, I love the flip when people find out who he is, and they go ooh, and they treat him differently.
One of the guys tonight that works here did that.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. He the whole time he did what I did, but I do know you from something else. Not
Yeah,
from
really?
Vine.
Cool.
But yeah, when it was so funny, I'm like, dude, I know you from. He's like Vine. I'm like, what a douche. No.
It's like, no, I don't watch Vine.
No,
That sucks.
but yeah, once you did the Jay-Z thing, he was like, holy shit, dude, that's the guy. Oh, I want to have him call my friends, dude. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
That's funny. Who's that? The long-haired dude?
Yeah, longer. Yeah, Steven?
All right, yeah, it's
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
I walked in.
Are open micers ever shitty to you when they find out that the Vine thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figure there's so many haters in that pool.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Open mic scene is a lot of anger.
I think that's stupid, though, man. I just think it's stupid for any comic to hate on any other comic.
I hate you.
It's
Go ahead.
it's such an individual thing, right? We all do our own material. We do our different thing. There's room for everybody.
Nah.
I mean, negative Josh, no. He gets,
Yeah. I mean,
I,
I try to do Jason's material.
I've gone to an open mic in Silver Lake, it's a good mic, but I had met one dude at Flappers who had kind of given me some passive-aggressive shit for being a Viner. Then he was at this open mic in Silver Lake, and I was walking in, and then behind me I hear someone say, "Hey, it's fucking John Mayer," because I think like I looked like prettier than them, and I was like, "Did I just get burned like at an open mic?" It was kind of weird. Like maybe I heard it wrong, but
Was it at Comedy Store?
I got bullied on
it
my
at
way
Comedy?
into an open mic.
Was it at
And
the
it's
Comedy
jealousy.
Store?
It's jealousy
Oh.
because if you said to any one of those guys, "Hey, would you like to have 3 million people follow you and be able to be signed by one of the biggest talent agencies in the world?" Each one would go, "Oh yeah." So you're hating, and I realize.
Or if you said, "I'll make a Vine with you," they'd be like, "Okay."
yeah.
Yeah, I'll tag you. So, okay.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
funny if it was John, because John Mayer's been
Right.
known to show up at the Comedy Store and do stand-up.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's
like Justin Timberlake.
Dude.
By the way, if you're listening, Ryan loves when you come up to him and pitch him vines.
Yeah, I love
He
it.
loves.
Oh, that's the
one of my favorite things is to pitch him bad vines. I always go, "Hey, that should be a vine. It's nothing.
Yeah.
You do have a good one. Joe does have
I'm getting bagels today. Let's make a vine."
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah,
Dude,
it's-
Joe, tell him yours. Just tell him.
All right.
So it's a guy,
Here we go.
and
It's a
he
guy.
Thank you
walks
for
in-
coming. Don't call us. We'll call you.
He walks into his boss and he's like, "Hey, boss, we're out of toilet paper." And then like he's holding the door open with his hand, and then he moves his hand, and there's like a shit stain on the door, and that's like the end of the vine.
And thanks for coming in.
See what you did, Kevin?
Yeah,
How I
no,
look stupid.
I knew. It's just you.
I like it.
This is your fault.
Is that a great idea, or are you going to tell him no?
No, I think that's a good punchline to the end. I think you need maybe more of a setup. Like the boss says, "Need any soap?" Or like, "No, good on soap." Or
But we're out of toilet paper. Yeah.
high five. Or like, I don't know. No, that is good. You know what? It's probably too gross for
Yeah.
the young audience on Vine.
To be honest, if I had a Vine, it would have been done by now. But
Yeah.
I've always been intimidated. I feel like that's a medium that is hard to break it into. So
Yeah, it is.
good
hard.
on you.
Oh, thanks, man. I got lucky, and I'm also gorgeous, so
Yeah.
and talented.
I have brown eyes. This does nothing.
only had-
This is just nothing for the millennials.
I've only had one of my Vines go like viral-ish, and I wasn't even in it. It was just me videotaping a guy, but it went kind of crazy there and on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen that one of the guy drinking the Sprite. It's called Fuck This Sprite. Have you seen that?
I don't know.
And it's a guy who just drinks the Sprite and throws it down. It's just that quick. And I don't know how I caught him doing it. I thought this guy's being weird, so I just went like this and videotaped him for a minute.
Yeah.
And then when I got out of there, I started going through it, and I went, "Oh, my God." He looks around, takes a sip of his Sprite, rolls his eyes, and slams it on the table. And all I called it was "Fuck This Sprite." And it's got so
How
many
likes?
Way too many for me to have. You know what I mean? Like, I only have 6 followers. Literally,
Got
well,
5
compared to
likes
Ryan,
and
I
you
have.
love.
Yeah, whatever you
Nothing,
say, it's not going to be enough. He's going to laugh. Whatever you
No, it's
say.
true. I have 17,670 some followers. This
Oh, yeah.
it's not 3 million.
Yeah,
But
it
this
is.
Vine has 120.2 thousand likes
Yeah, awesome.
and like 42,000 revines. It's actually
It's actually the highlight of my career.
Actually,
like,
you
I
know
don't
what?
want to.
He's super happy.
Okay, they can't see it on the podcast.
Yeah. But it literally is just the way Jason explained. That's all it is.
It's a great Vine. It's not as great.
and people have been tweeting it, and I don't even think they know that it's.
Right.
Some people pay Vine by Jason Collins, but
You hit
What's
the you
your
hit the
average,
zeitgeist.
Ryan? What's your average favorites and revines and all
about
that?
that.
Is it?
About that many.
that's his low.
No, I mean, no, not really. I consider a Vine successful if it has like 80,000 likes. But you got to consider my ratio: 3 million people,
Right.
80,000. That's like
Yeah.
pretty low. Yeah. And I've been on Vine for a long time, so to be honest, a lot of my followers, or not a lot, my early followers, they're probably not looking at Vine anymore. A lot of old Viners, old as in 2 years. A lot of us have.
24, 23.
Yeah.
It's just like anything, though. You have to stay consistent on it. Like when I started, I stopped doing it for a while. Just kind of let it go and stop doing it for a while. But a lot of people, like the people that started doing it after I started doing it, and I didn't have very many followers. When I went back, had like thousands and thousands of followers now. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the Viner documentary.
Were you at
So-
the thing? You were at
Yeah,
the
I
thing.
was
I
there.
saw you there.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we should be periscoping this right now?
I love.
I tried to. The
Periscope.
light is too low.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Periscope is my favorite. I love it. I know
dude.
Jay does it too.
Yeah, you gotta love
Because
that.
I do stupid videos on the street. So what I do is I Periscope, and then I download it to my camera. I chop it up, put it on Facebook, chop it up again, put it on Twitter and Instagram.
That's awesome.
So are you guys having a
That's
private
super smart.
conversation? We can hear you guys. What are you doing? I can hear you.
Jason, do you write? Do you spend time writing?
Yes, I do.
Is that pretty much how you do it, or you do anything on stage?
I do most of my writing. Oh, it's with my as far as my stand-up.
Yeah.
I do most of my writing in the car and on stage.
Yeah? In the car sounds safe.
In the car, not physically writing.
Yeah,
I haven't physically written down a joke in probably 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did it once, and it didn't. That wasn't my process, and it didn't work. And like I have at least 2 hours of a set just memorized.
How long does it take for a joke or a premise that you first come up with to then hit your act to where it's good to go?
Immediately.
Yeah?
That's because I don't have anything written down. So the only way to document this is if I'm videotaping, is to just start saying it on stage. Like I said stuff tonight on the show tonight that I've never said on stage.
Parking enforcement guy.
Yeah.
The parking enforcement thing he does. I remember the night that actually happened.
I was
He came
furious.
To the improv, he
I almost killed this dude.
just
Yeah.
heated.
I could tell
you know,
from on
and he
stage.
wouldn't. I mean, he was just fucking pissed.
And I wouldn't let it go. I was so mad. And other comics were like, "You got to let it go, man." And I'm like, "No, I can't let it go." And because I didn't let it go, I have a fun
whole
bit that
bit,
I do
man.
on stage.
Yeah.
The parking enforcement guy that I was going to get in a fight with. Josh.
No joke, Jason. I had to stop. One of the things I learned in comedy is I was studying and studying. I used to go to that Laugh Factory and I would watch D'Elia, because that's my style. And I had to stop because I found myself doing his hand motions, doing his things on stage. And I literally go, oh, because you don't mean to. You know, I started copying. I'm like, oh, I have to stop that. So I had to stop. There's certain comedians like Brian Callen, Dub Davidoff, D'Elia. I said D'Elia.
D'Elia, huh?
I say D'Elia because it's like
What part of New York are you
no,
from?
Medea. I call him D'Elia, and only to myself. But I had to stop because I'm like, that's a guy who influences me. That's a guy that I look up to. That I can't watch him because I'll do him, and that's the worst thing as a comedian, to be like, oh wait, did you get that bit from somebody else? For at least for me, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
And I found myself sometimes, or Sebastian, or Brett Ernst. Like there's like 5 guys that I can't watch.
Yeah.
You know, like Ryan, I can watch because we have just different styles.
Right.
You know, Jason, I prefer just not to watch. Nothing. I don't know why I keep hitting him. I don't know why I keep verbally attacking you. He's nothing but nice to me. And I don't know why I like David better than Jason. I don't know why. I FaceTime Jason and David all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who answers?
David answers. Jason answers if he's in a hotel somewhere on the road. And he shows me his hotels because he stays in nice hotels. He shows. We always look at the toilet. He shows. And what I do is I
Some of these
screen
places are
capture.
really
I
nice,
screen
guys.
capture Jason. I have pictures of Jason wearing a
don't.
towel on his head
Yeah.
and no shirt.
Yeah.
And I just send it to him once every few months to let him know I
the
have
tub?
that. Yeah, well, basically what I want to do is I want him to get famous and me to get famous. And then, like, we're on a talk show, like, I'll send it in and they'll, like, put it on the screen. That's the plan.
That would suck.
Yeah. And I always send pictures of Jason to
I
David.
don't look good with my shirt off either.
I interrupted you, Ryan. I'm sorry. What?
You did?
Okay. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking when I listened to Bill Burr's podcast,
Love it.
and then I'm from Boston, so I really love doing the Boston accent. But Bill Burr often does like just checking in on ya,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That was
Oh,
great.
dude, I do that around the house all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sound anything like it, but I love a Boston accent.
But it's weird, like, because I do that with my friends, and we've been doing it for years. We like to make fun of the Boston accent. So now as a comedian, when I do that, when I fucking do the Boston accent, dude, I'm like, oh shit, I'm copying Bill Burr. But then I'm like, wait, no, I'm not. I've been doing this for years. So it's like a little conflict. But I'm sure comedic audiences will be like, you're doing Burr, when really like, dude, I'm doing my dad.
Yeah, right.
And I've had to let go of some jokes that even though I'm like, hey, I thought of that. Actually, me and Jason have something about how the younger girls talk, and he's been doing that bit longer, and his was funnier. Like, I saw it, and I go, well, he figured that joke out. It's funnier than where I had it, and I just let it go. But when I'm not working with Jason, I still do the bit. No, I'm joking. I'm sorry. I don't do that. But no, no joke.
You know, Francisco Ramos and I have an identical bit about the shower bit with the hair on the wall and stuff. So I talked to him about it, and we've just agreed whenever we're on a show together, I'm not going to do it. Because he kind of used it as a closer, too.
Right.
And it was just like, and we're totally cool. Andrew Santino has the same bit, too. We just, and Andrew Santino and I just, we
and
fought
that's
it,
why
we fought
hanging
it.
out. That's why hanging out is important too, because you get to be friends with somebody where I think Jason would know I would never take from him. You know, so you have a level of respect where I go, all right, I don't need to do it, or can I do it, or whatever. And then you know, there's guys that don't have that level of respect for each other, and then you end up getting a bad name.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's important to have that relationship.
For sure. What if it's just it just happens? You know, what if you're at a show and you see somebody do a material, you're like, oh, that's this guy's bit.
I
But how
talk
would
to him like a gentleman. You find out who is doing it first, and 99% of the time, I just go, no, Brian, I won't do it, because you can always write a new bit, and it's not worth it.
Here's
well, it
the
happened
worst,
to me. That's why.
Here's the worst way to handle it, and this happened with me. A guy comes up to me and goes, "Hey man, I heard you stole my bit."
Oh, that's phenomenal.
Right away. What? Because what you should do is say, yo, we have a very similar bit. Can we talk it out? No problem. This guy's first thing to me was, "Hey man, I heard you stole my bit." What are you talking about? And he was like, "Yo, I have a video of me on YouTube doing that bit," and I had to be an asshole. I'm like, "Well, I did it on the Tonight Show." So.
And that wins no matter what. Doesn't matter if it's that wins. No, that's it. I put it on TV. Sorry, it's mine. What are you going to do?
It does, man.
Somebody just tweeted at Jason Collings, at Stand Up Scottsdale, at Josh Nasar. The image of Josh licking his fingers will forever be imprinted in my brain, and not in a good way.
Okay, you didn't really have to read that out loud. You know what I mean? You didn't. You know what I mean?
This is the kind of highbrow material that
Yes,
you'll be seeing
I
from
lick my
Josh
fingers.
this weekend.
Yeah, come out and it's fun though. I honestly think life is nonsense, and I have that side of me. I do motivational speaking and stuff, and I'm trying to get that in, but it's hard to get in because I have such high energy. It's hard to get in that deeper stuff, and that's why you go out and you do every shitty mic and you just put it out there.
He's a really good motivational speaker.
Yeah?
Really, yeah.
Yeah, I talk about a lot of stuff.
Suicide rate of his clients has gotten a lot lower.
You hear that awkwardness? That was his joke bombing. That's what that was, Jason.
That
let there be
that
awkward.
was you staring at me like you wanted to kiss me.
Okay, I don't need your negativity, Mr. Engineer.
All right, we got just a little bit longer, and then we'll wrap up and get out of here. I like cool, crazy stories. Just like anything. Dude, it could be anything. If you've got something that literally just hit your mind right now, I've got this cool, crazy, whatever story to tell. Can be long, can be short, doesn't matter. Do you have it? You got one?
What kind? What brand? What
Anything, dude.
Anything
Doesn't
at
have
all?
to be comedy. Could literally be anything.
I can tell you, and I think Jason, David, you maybe can explain this to me. I was backpacking through Europe, and what that means?
Is this
you
the
have no
Joey
money.
Tribbiani story from Friends?
No, I was backpacking through Europe, and I have no money, and there's no taxis here. There's water taxis, and I think they shut down around 11 o'clock at night. And I knew I had to get to a youth hostel, and I didn't have money for a hotel, which was across the way, and you had to take a taxi there. And I went up to these guys. I had like a 15-pound backpack on, and I said, I'm tired. It's like 10:45 at night. I go, which way to the taxis? And the guy pulled out a knife. And he asked for money. And before I knew it, I grabbed him by his neck, and I picked him up. And I looked down, and I saw his feet dangling. And I'm literally going, how am I doing? I don't have the strength to do this. But I have no idea how. And I'm like, which way? And the guy's like, over there, like in an accent. And I dropped him, and I walked away. And I don't know if you guys. I know you guys do martial arts and stuff. Is there strength that you can? Could I have? That's my memory.
It's like the mom that can lift a car when her baby's stuck under it. It's that whole thing.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, I mean, it felt. I literally. That was a story that was like, oh, okay, I can take care of myself. Like, for instance, if I was in a dark alley and let's say Jason and David attacked me, I would win the fight. Wait.
No, I don't.
He would just try to
win.
fuck us both. He'd just try to have sex with us both in the
Yeah,
end.
well, you guys have tight buttholes. Listen, you guys, I'm sorry, I don't know what that means. Yeah. So that's my little story.
All right. I do want another one from you. I want you to tell it on this podcast. The Penn State cheerleading story, what you do on the field.
Okay, so a Penn State cheerleader, 100,000 people in the stadium, actually 110,000 people.
Wait. You were a Penn State cheerleader?
I was a Penn State cheerleader. 1, 2, down, up, toss to hands to a Kewpie, to a basket toss. Thank you. And I'm not gay. So I used to stand. What we do is we used to stand on the 10-yard line. Like 8 cheerleaders across. So a left hash mark, quarter hash mark, middle, and we would stand across, and they would play the national anthem or whatever. And they say with 110,000 people, with the amount of cheerleaders at any one time, in between 8 and 10 people are looking at you. So I used to stand there, picture how a cheerleader standing, like a Superman would stand with his arms, and I used to pull my balls out, and I put them outside of my polyester pants. Meanwhile, all of my fraternity brothers know that I'm doing this, and I see them in the stands hysterically laughing. Now, this is before cell phones and all that shit, and I used to just stand there with my balls out of my pants.
You know what's so fucking hilarious? There's no way you could do that now because of all the social media.
No, see, that's the thing. And you know what? People tell me there's no way you can do those videos, but I do those videos, so I have magic balls. Nobody sees
pull
them
your
except my
balls out.
friends.
Pull your balls out.
Kind eyes and magic balls.
Magic balls.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Oh, I love
I had no idea you were a cheerleader.
Oh, yeah.
What a bitch.
Kerry Collins used to run on the field and then just push me. He was a quarterback.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What'd you say?
Said I had no idea your balls were out.
Oh, yeah, they were. Yeah, my balls were out. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why I do these things.
It's awesome. Jason, anything?
What was the question?
Just like a cool, crazy story. Anything?
about
Whatever.
life.
Yeah. Anything that's happened to you or you've seen?
I mean, I used to steal cars
You did?
for fun. Yeah.
What kind of cars?
One more, my buddy's cars. Like my friend, like one night we stole my buddy's car in the middle of the night and then put it on the rally stage at our.
Wait, is this we or you and
Me
David?
and my brother and my
You
buddy.
and David, okay.
Yeah. And we stole his car and I stole my girlfriend's car. Yeah.
Suzuki Samurai, his girlfriend, and we stole.
Oh, I got her in so much trouble.
And we on purposely tried to tip it over.
Yeah,
Although we
I
couldn't.
off-roaded her Jeep on the golf course. And the next morning, she comes to school. She's like, I'm in so much trouble. I go, why? She goes, I don't know why, but my car was covered in mud this morning, and my dad's so mad. I'm like, oh, my God, wow. And then this other girl I dated, I stole her car in the middle of the night. That's how a girl in my high school knew that I had a thing for him, because I would steal their cars. But I stole her car. We joyrided her car all over the neighborhood. And then I went to bring it back, and we pull up real slow way down the street from her house. Now, her house was at the end of the street facing, and we get around the corner, and her whole family's out front going like, oh, shit, the car got stolen. So we stop. We put the car in neutral and push it towards her house. So the next day.
You just left it?
Yeah. So the next day she comes to school. She's like, oh, my God, you're not going to believe what happened. I go, what? She goes, my car got stolen last night. And I'm like, no way, right? And she goes, no, but that's not the weird part. We're all out front, and I'm crying, and then all of a sudden, out of the darkness, my car just comes rolling towards the house.
That was awesome.
I was like, that's amazing.
Oh, dude, that is awesome, man. Yeah. Awesome.
That was a fun night.
I have to follow that. Jesus. Well, I Jason mentioned stealing things. I used to steal things.
Virginity.
Used to steal V cards.
What was it?
I used to steal beers from a golf course. I grew up in a small town, a reservation golf course in Mattapoisett, Mass. I had a junior membership. I'm making myself sound like a rich fuckhead right now. This is going to be such a weak story compared to that. I used to steal beers from my friends. I was just like 15. Having no idea, like that, I was really breaking the law pretty hard. At one point, I must have been 16 and a half because I was driving. I covered up my dad's license plate. I was driving my dad's car. Went into the golf course with a black duffel bag, filled up on Mike's Hard Lemonade. Drove away in my dad's Jeep, and I had taped up the license plate because I thought, like,
Just in case
I
there's
need
videos.
to disguise myself. Yeah. Which is more sketchy than not taping your license plate up. But, yeah, that's my fucking horrible story.
But you didn't get caught, right?
Didn't get caught, but in
No, they called his dad the next day. Yeah, we saw your car on video. The license plate was taped, but your son's face, perfect shot of him in the windshield.
Yeah. I mean, I have crazy sad stories or like sexual stories, but
Most of my sexual stories are sad, too.
Wait. Can I tell the story about the other night?
when is this?
Two mics right there, guys. You don't have to play it fast.
When is this podcast being released?
Tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, so I need to call my family and let them know that I broke up with my girlfriend before this is released.
Yeah.
You did what?
My girlfriend and I broke up, sadly. But I haven't told my family
He dated
that
her
yet.
for 10 years. He's now only 31. So he dated her from 21 to 31. Am I right?
You're right.
Okay, so this is
This already hurts my heart.
Yeah.
This happened a few months ago.
Yeah. So
It's okay, but I've been fucking guys.
You've been fucking guys?
Yo,
wait a second.
wait, no, wait. a
Podcast
minute.
is over.
Wait, there was a
No,
comma.
that's cool, dude. It's cool if you're
was-
like buddies.
There was punctuation in there.
Okay.
For facts.
Anyways, I've been having sex with girls, and I've been attracting some fucking lunatics. Josh,
course.
take it from here.
Well,
Is this
basically,
LA?
there was a girl we were at the Comedy Store,
Well,
and
there you
Ryan,
go.
good-looking guy, and the girl says, "Hey, is that your friend Ryan?" I go, "Yeah." "Oh, he's cool, pretty eyes, blah blah blah." And then I was like, "Oh, well, I can introduce you." So there were two sisters. We're friends. We all hang out, and then we go back to Ryan's house, and then I take one of the sisters back to my house. It was fine. We're getting along. And then the next day, Ryan calls me. He's like, "Dude," I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Dude, she peed on my carpet."
What?
Yeah.
Was
To
it a
which I
Boston
hysterically
Terrier?
laughed. I couldn't stop laughing because I had the greatest night and he had the worst night.
Yeah.
What?
No. Oh, wait, the best part about it, how long ago was it?
Last weekend?
Last weekend. And it's now this week. It's now 7 days later.
Don't say this.
Ryan still hasn't cleaned it up.
It's a souvenir.
Still on
my
the carpet.
I've been walking
Do you have
around
a jealous
it.
dog that's just walking around your place? Just
Oh, that's so funny.
You know what? I'm moving out soon, so I was like, fuck
fuck
this.
the
place.
deposit.
Hey, you know
Soon,
what?
when is your lease? Hold on. Wait a second. When is your lease up?
In August.
Oh, maybe, hey, Ryan, maybe
We're
it's
in mid-June.
maybe it's a
That's
good
70
girl
days
repellent.
away, Ryan. 70 days away.
that LA summer humidity is just going to bring it to the
Here's the
ceiling,
thing, though,
man.
Josh. Maybe it's a good crazy girl repellent if you leave the
Yeah,
crazy girl pee.
that's what it is. She was
Other
marking the
crazy girls goes,
territory.
oh, there's already a crazy girl here. I can't come in.
I'll tell you what, she was very hydrated on beer.
Yeah.
So you know what? It didn't smell.
Right.
Here's this.
It does smell.
Here's the official story.
All right.
So I wake up in the middle of the night to go pee in a bathroom.
Oh, well, that's something
Not
new.
on her.
Wait, were you barefoot?
Fuck this.
I was barefoot. Yeah, I stepped in a puddle and I was like, all right.
You really
guess-
did?
Yeah, I was like, all right. I guess
no.
a glass of water spilled. Cut to next morning. Wake up. This
You got back in bed with the
I
pea
didn't.
foot?
I didn't know it was pee.
Okay, all right.
I thought I stepped in water.
Have you at least washed your sheets?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And his feet.
And my feet. Yeah, I've showered since. Anyways, I wake up the next morning. And she wakes up as well. Then all of a sudden, her eyes open up wide. I'm like, oh my god! Did I pee somewhere?
Oh, no.
And your brain starts going, right?
Well, it doesn't start going. I figured it out right away. And I said, "Oh, that's what that was." And then she texted me like later, something like, "I hope I can have another shot to show you who I really am."
Oh, she showed you who she really is, man.
And the thing
You're
is,
like,
is
you're going to forever be the pee-pee girl. I'm
wait
sorry.
a second. I just realized this. Her sister, she came back later on. So how long did she stay at your apartment after you guys had the pee-pee talk?
You know what? Too fucking long. Too fucking long. Even
That's so gross. There's nothing worse than in the morning stepping in something strange. That's the worst. Dude, I did. Brent Moore and I were in Minneapolis at the same time. Chris D'Elia and I were doing a show, and then Brent was out doing another club, and we were like there at the same time. We're like, fuck yeah. So me and Chris decided to stay an extra day to party with Brent. So Brent and I went out on the town in Minneapolis, right? And he got wasted. Like this dude invited to he like after party my house. This guy was loaded rich. Brent, it was so fun. We had fun. But Brent was like, I'm just going to come back to your hotel and stay at your place. So I'm just tired. I'm like, yeah, no problem. So we go back to my place. I get on I put my jammies on. I get in bed and I'm under the covers. Brent is in clothes on the fucking couch, curled up in a ball. He wakes up in the morning. I wake up and I look over at him. He goes, What are you doing in my room? I said, Brent, I'm in pajamas in bed. You're on the couch. Dude, you're in my room. Oh, okay. So he gets up to use the restroom. I get out of bed and step in a puddle of puke. Brent threw up in the middle of the hotel room floor in the middle of the night and didn't remember doing it, so he couldn't warn me. Don't step there, because he didn't remember. Oh, it's so nasty.
Oh, dude. Well, guys, with that, let's wrap. First of all, thanks for coming on, man. We had a good time. And everybody listening, come out to Stand Up Scottsdale this weekend. Friday night, Saturday night, 7:30 and 9:30 shows. And you guys here Sunday, too?
Yeah, we're here for one show Sunday, 7:30.
Father's Day, yeah. Definitely come out to that. Bring your dad.
Can I plug my social media?
No.
Why?
Let's just wrap, dude. But, Jason, yeah, you can shoot it.
Fucking
go
dick.
for it, man.
God.
Yeah, go for it, Josh.
Hey, you can find me all my platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope at Josh Nasar, which is N as in Nancy, A-S-A-R, NASA, throw an R on the end.
Boo. You can see all my stuff on jasoncollings.com.
Is there a G in that?
Boom. Jason Collings, COLLINGS.com.
There it is.
You can find me on Vine as Doon. Also Twitter. Unfortunately, on Instagram, I'm me, Doon, which looks like Mary Doon. Unfortunately.
Wait, I don't get
Yeah,
that.
sucks.
I don't get that.
Stuck with it.
Why? I don't get it.
I can't even capitalize anything in there.
Why? I don't get it.
The guy who owns Doon, or like has Doon, offered. I think he thinks I'm like super like celebrity rich. He's like, I'll sell it to you for $5,000. True story. And I was like,
What is he, Count
fuck
Chocula?
Anyways, yeah, find me there. Snapchat too. I'm Snapchatting y'all.
Wow.
Send me some dick pics, y'all.
Woo, titties.
Oh yeah, Periscope too. Doon. I'm there. I love Periscope.
David?
I just do a weekly podcast with my brother called Midlife Crisis. So look for that.
Catch that on iTunes.
Yeah.
Midlife Crisis on
Social media, everything? Is it at David Collins?
Just my name, David Collings.
Killer.
And is there a G also in that last name?
Yes. Yep.
Let's beat the shit out of him, David.
How dare you.
I am Kevin Elliott on all social media. Joe, what are you, Joe Gangemi 25? On everything. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for listening. We'll see you this weekend.
This has been another great presentation of the Four Eyed Radio Network. You can catch more shows at foureyedradio.com.